G'day team, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to start looking at precedence networks and some discrete modeling. So there are some projects in life such as cooking, building a shed, preparing for a football game, all requiring the completion of separate tasks, but sometimes they might have a certain order that they have to be done in. Now we can use something called critical path analysis, which determines the most critical processes to finishing the tasks. So that will tell us the most important little tasks to complete the overall project. Now the critical path, is the longest path through the precedence network from start to finish, and every task in that critical path are known as critical tasks. Now we will look at that a bit closer in a moment. But I've got an example of a precedence table. Now, I've listed my tasks here, and they typically roll in order. So defrost the pizza base, prepare the toppings, place sauce/toppings on the base, heat the oven, and cook the pizza. Now, they've all been allocated a certain amount of time to take. Now, this column here is a little bit different. It is the prerequisite. So what is directly needed to happen before we can start the tasks? Now, if there's a dash there, that means no other tasks are required to start this task. So without starting anything else, I can defrost the pizza base. Without starting anything else, I can prepare the toppings. However, to place the sauce and the toppings on the base, I need to at least prepare the toppings. So you can see how this sort of works out. Now, to cook the pizza, I need A, C, and D to occur. Now, we don't list B because B is a prerequisite for C. So we only list the things that happen directly leading into that task. If we wanted to create a network about this, we come down here. So it's a little bit different to what we've looked at in networks in the past. The nodes that we see here are actually not the task themselves. The arrows are the task themselves. So from start to here, I've got task A, and that takes 5 minutes. Now, if I'm looking at comparing this to my prerequisites, if I've got a dash as a prerequisite, it comes from the start. So we can see A, B, and D all come from the start. Now, B here leads into C. So the end of B leads into the start of C here. Now, a little hint for drawing these, if they're paired up or in a 3 lot here like this, we know that they all end at the same node. So you can see A, C, and D all finish at this node here, which leads into E and then the finish. Really important that we're writing start and finish on our networks. Now, the critical path is the longest time through. Now, if I'm looking from here to here, here to here, or through here, B and C gives me 10 total minutes, which is bigger than other paths. So I take 10 minutes plus the 22, which is 32 minutes, and my critical path is B to C to E. That creates the longest period. So let's have a look at a question and draw the network diagram and table together. So we're going to prepare a casserole. So I've got 6 steps here. We need to figure out what order we're going to maybe do these steps in. So I got find a recipe, clean up, prepare ingredients, cook the casserole, set the table, serve the meals. Now for me, I feel like find a recipe is going to be A. We're going to prepare the ingredients, which is going to be B. We're going to probably maybe cook the casserole as C, set the table D, serve the meals E, and A, B, C, D, E, and then F is going to be our cleanup. So let's look at a precedence table here. So find a recipe, prepare the ingredients, cook the casserole, set the table, serve the food, and clean up. This is the exact order that we had. Now, if I'm looking at the prerequisites here, what are some things I can do in here that might not need another one of these tasks to be completed before starting? Well, finding a recipe, we don't need to do any other tasks. Prepare the ingredients, we need to have a recipe. Cooking the casserole, we need to have prepared the ingredients. Now, setting the table, we can actually just set the table without anything else. Serve the food, we must have had C done. And to clean up, we must have served the food. Okay, are we happy with that? Hopefully you're happy with that. So let's try and create a network for this. Now, serving the food, we must have actually set the table as well. So we've got C and D there because you're not going to serve food without setting the table. All right, so I see 2 dashes here. So I know those 2 tasks come out of the origin. So let's go with start. Now I look at this and go, A and D come out of the start, but we don't use D until down further. So I'm going to start looking at A. Now A leads directly into B. So I've got my arrow, task A in the middle of the arrow and the end of A. And we say that leads into B, which is my arrow, B in the middle and another node. Now B leads into C, so that's nice and easy. We can continue this little pattern here. So C. Now, D comes from the start, but C and D are together in the prerequisite column. So that means they must finish in the same spot. So D comes from here and goes all the way to the end of C. So I do a nice big arrow, task D, and I've got here. Now, C and D lead into E, and E leads into F. And because F isn't a prerequisite for anything else, it is the finish. Hopefully that helps a little bit. A few little hints and tricks there to sort of create these networks. Yours might look a bit different to mine, and that's okay. There's a whole range of different ways you can actually draw these, as long as you've got the right things leading into the right places. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.